Ever wondered why the phone in your hand or the avocado in your salad costs what it does? It has a lot to do with lines on a map. Borders shape everything from the price of your groceries to how fast your packages arrive. They might seem like simple political dividers, but in the world of economics, they are massive. Invisible walls that cost us billions. So, what do borders actually do to the economy? Even between the friendliest countries, crossing a border adds friction. Think of it like this. Every time a product crosses a border, it hits a series of speed bumps. First, there are tariff taxes on imported goods that make them more expensive. Then you have what are called non-tariff barriers. This is a huge category that includes everything from different safety regulations and packaging requirements to straight-up paperwork. A truck might have to wait for hours or even days for customs inspections. All these checks, delays, and administrative hurdles add up, creating a significant cost that ultimately gets passed on to you, the consumer. It's a complex web of rules that slows down the global flow of goods. This phenomenon is so powerful that economists have a name for it: the border effect. Back in the 90s, economist named John McCallum made a shocking discovery. He found that Canadian provinces were trading 20 to 30 times more with each other than with American states that were geographically much closer. Think about that. A business in Vancouver was far more likely to trade with a company in distant Toronto than with one just across the border in Seattle. It was as if the US-Canada border, one of the friendliest in the world, was equivalent to thousands of miles of physical distance. It proved that simply crossing a line on a map can reduce trade more than crossing an entire ocean. This goes against the simple logic of gravity models, which predict that trade should be strongest between large, close economies. But borders defy that logic. Let's look at a real-world example: the US-Mexico border. This isn't just a line in the sand. It's the heart of a vibrant, integrated economic ecosystem. Every single day, about $1.7 billion worth of goods and services cross this border. Cities like El Paso in Texas and Juarez in Mexico function almost as a single metropolitan area. American companies design products, send the parts to maquiladora factories in Mexico for assembly where labor is more affordable, and then import the finished goods back into the U.S. This cross-border supply chain is incredibly efficient, but also incredibly fragile. A small change in trade policy, a new tariff, or a slowdown at a border checkpoint can have a massive ripple effect, threatening thousands of jobs and disrupting entire industries on both sides. It's a delicate dance where politics and economics are intertwined daily. We all got a harsh lesson in how much borders matter during the COVID-19 pandemic. When countries suddenly shut or severely restricted their borders to slow the spread of the virus, global supply chains practically seized up. Suddenly, components made in one country couldn't get to factories in another. Container ships piled up at ports, waiting for weeks to be unloaded. The cost was astronomical. Estimates suggest that these border slowdowns and supply chain disruptions cost the global economy billions in lost output. The pandemic was a stress test that revealed just how fragile our interconnected world is and how dependent we are on the smooth, predictable flow of goods across borders. It showed that what happens at a border crossing in one part of the world can quickly lead to empty shelves in your local supermarket. So why does all this matter right now? More than ever. Because after decades of globalization and opening up, borders are making a comeback. They're getting stronger. We see it everywhere. The return of customs checks within parts of Europe. The ongoing trade disputes and tariffs between the US and China. And rising geopolitical tensions creating choke points in critical shipping lanes around the world. In this new era of global uncertainty, the friction at borders is increasing. How nations manage these lines on the map will determine which economies thrive and which get left behind. In the 21st century, borders aren't just about geography, they're about economic destiny. If you found this interesting and want to dive deeper into how geography shapes our world, be sure to check out our full Geopolitics playlist. Thanks for watching.